Today we're going to talk about the top 10 drummers in rock and metal. Well, my top 10. These are my top favorite drummers. They're my top 10 favorite drummers, and I'm going to do an honorable mention at the end. So let's get going. So we're going to start off right with, the obvious, the big choice, the guy that got this style of drumming started, in my opinion, John Bonham. Across the board. All around, incredible drummer. He is pretty much the top. He is like the grandfather of, the godfather of all heavy drumming. Massive drum sound, incredible technique. His foot was ridiculously fast. His fills, that legendary, you like that? Those fills, his bombastic playing is legendary. His drum sound was revolutionary, especially for the early 70s. Like, you listen to How the West Was Won. It was a live record they released. It's from 1973. I think it was recorded at the Forum in LA. And it starts off with Immigrant Song. And it is ridiculous how good his fucking snare drum sound. It's like chills. It's so good. I know it could have been doctored in the studio. I don't care. It sounds amazing. No one else has sounded like that back in 1973 at all. They had these thuddy, cardboardy, crappy sounding drums that were like, like it sounded like a fucking pillow. His drums were like punch you in the face. Incredible drummer. Eloy Casagrande. Yes, Eloy Casagrande is a fucking monster drummer. He is ridiculous. So much power, so much precision, so much speed, and he hits like a gorilla. I mean, it's like, he's unbelievable. He has a video from when he was 14 years old. He did a Modern Drummer Festival. I think it was in Brazil. I don't know. 14 years old, and it melts your brain what this kid is doing. He's all over the toms, like these crazy, fluid, powerful fills, double bass, everywhere. I mean, just peppering on this double bass stuff, like really fast, really like laser focused, laser tight double bass. And then he starts doing like these blocks on the other foot, he's going back and forth between the blocks on the pedal and his bass drum pedal. And it's like, what are you doing? It's like, I don't know. I mean, incredible drummer. Then he joined Sepultura. It's mind blowing what he did in that band. Look up a video from Sick Drummer, the channel Sick Drummer, for Desperate Cry. It will melt your brain. I mean, it is unbelievable how much power and precision he plays with. Then he quit Sepultura and he joined Slipknot. Joey, yes, I know, he was the originator. Everybody loves Joey. Joey is Slipknot, okay? Created incredible parts. Nobody creates drum parts like Joey Jordison did. Nobody. Then Jay Weinberg takes over. I really liked what Jay did with the band. Jay Weinberg is an incredible drummer. Now they have Eloy after they canned Jay. They have a problem firing drummers, by the way. I'm just going to say, if they fire Eloy, then there's nothing above that, okay? If they do that, they are knowingly and willingly taking a step down in drummers, because that's the only option at that point. If you fire Eloy after you fired the first two, then you're just idiots. There's no better for that style of drumming. That style of music, there is no better than Eloy, because you will only go downhill from there. There is no stepping up from Eloy Casagrande for Slipknot. None. Okay? Yeah. My only hope is when they do a record with Eloy, that they do him justice. It's not the other way around. I don't think he owes them shit, okay? He saved their ass. I mean, seriously, you're not going to get better than him. You will not get better than him. They are tighter than they've ever been. He's like a friggin' typewriter up there. He's like a machine. It's like brrr, ridiculous. And the guy hits with so much power, and he's got so much creativity. I hope that they can put a record behind him that is going to push him up, and not some crappy, like they've done the last two, with like one good song, one bad song, one good song, one weird, dumb, why did you put that on here song, then a good song, and then fucking put out a good record and let him be who he needs to be in your band. Eloy Casagrande is a badass. Thomas Hawk from Meshuggah is a fucking bludgeoning, ridiculous just mind-bending with all of his accents, and you know how he can play 4/4 with his hands, and he plays something completely different with his feet, and the accents are like in the weirdest fucking spots. Like, it melts my brain. I don't think in those terms. Hearing him still to this day is like, I still, like, I can hear it and I can kind of sing it a little bit, but like to sit down and play even some of the more simple songs, if you can say that, it's mind-bending, and it twists me into a pretzel, and I love it, but I fucking hate it at the same time. He is so good and so powerful and so ridiculously creative and locked in with the guitars. If you've never heard Thomas Hawk from Meshuggah, you have to. Incredible drummer. Derek Plord. Now, Derek Plord may be the lesser known drummer on this list. Derek was the drummer for Lagwagon back in the early 90s, in the mid-90s. Lagwagon is a punk band from California, from Santa Barbara, and I was in punk bands then. We got to open up for Lagwagon. I think it was in 1994. They were dead-ass broke. There was like 20 people there. I'd never heard them before, and I was watching Derek play, and I was like, what is happening? Like, he is so incredibly talented. He is so good. He took the groundwork that was already laid there, pretty much from Eric Sandin from NoFX, with that really fast single double pedal, and he took it to this level that people have come really close. They've scraped the surface of it, but no one has surpassed him. He passed, 20 years ago, something like that. He had some problems in his life. He was going through some addictions and stuff like that, and ended his life, and it was very, very unfortunate. Still to this day, you listen to Hoss, I still practice to that record. Try to practice to that record. If I'm trying to get back in shape for anything punk rock related, that's the record I start working out to. And I can't do it. I used to be able to do some of it. Listen to that record, Hoss. It is ridiculous how good that guy was. Derek Plord, check him out. Nico McBrain of Iron Maiden. Now, when I think of Iron Maiden, I think of Nico McBrain. I think of the classic five, on those, the third records through the seventh record. Those 5 records with that lineup is the best. I love the first 2. I love Paul Di'Anno. I love Clive Burr. I love almost every iteration of the band. I didn't really like the Blaze Bayley stuff. But anyway, Clive was like maybe more pulled back. He was a little bit more like kind of 1 foot in the 70s. Like do ba go go ba go go ba da da dun dun da da do ba go go, which is great. Fit the song perfect. But he was not quite as like explosive, I guess you could say, as Nico is when he came in. Now, Nico McBrain enters the fucking arena with Where Eagles Dare on Peace of Mind. I mean, mind-blowing drum intro. Still to this day, I can play it at really slow tempos, but if I try and play it to speed, to where the song tempo is, I can't do it. And I've been playing for a long ass time. And he is a badass. His right hand is ridiculous. The accents that he put on the ride, and that ride, there's like the big flat dun 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 dun. His foot, ridiculously fast foot. Listen to the song Somewhere in Time. And like The Wicker Man. I mean, his foot in that is like no double bass. No double bass ever. Single foot. Ridiculous drummer. I loved his big giant drum set. I don't know. All you could see was his arm and his hand live, pounding on that ride cymbal, and everything he created. He had a great tone, great. Like, nobody plays like Nico. Nobody plays like Nico McBrain. Nobody ever will. So that to me is Iron Maiden. Anyway, Nico had to be on the list. Mike Borden. Mike Borden is the drummer for Faith No More, most notably, but he played with Ozzy Osbourne, he played with Black Sabbath, he's played with Korn, he's played with Primus, he's played with everybody. Jerry Cantrell, I mean, my favorite, probably. Maybe some of the favorite stuff that Mike Borden's ever done was with Jerry Cantrell and Robert Trujillo, the bass player for Metallica. They did a record together, a double record called Degradation Trip 1 and 2. There's a Degradation Trip 1, do not get that one. Get 1 and 2, because mixed between those 2 records is the best songs. So you have to get both because there's incredible songs spread throughout. It could have been the follow-up to Dirt. It's that heavy and dirty and just, I mean, but it's so raw. And Mike Borden, what he does there He plays it how it should be played. His normal style with Faith No More is very tribal. You know, he leads with his left hand. He's an open-handed drummer, and he's got these gigantic toms. He's got 2 toms up here, a giant floor tom, a big-ass like 26-inch bass drum, and everything is tabletop flat. Like the toms are up here, and the floor tom, everything is flat. And he just fucking kills those drums. Like absolutely destroys them. Big, long dreads all the way down his back. The dude is just, I don't know. It's Mike Bordin from Faith No More. If you've never heard him, you probably have heard him. Incredible drummer. One of my all-time favorites. Alex Van Halen. Now, Alex Van Halen has spent his entire career behind the shroud of his brother, Eddie. I mean, I think most people who love Van Halen, you know, maybe non-musicians, more of the like casual listeners, you know, people that like him, I don't think they could ever really get past, you know, the presence of Eddie Van Halen and what that band is most famous for, which is Eddie Van Halen. He has been behind that curtain for their entire career. His entire life, he has been behind Eddie Van Halen. If you listen to him, you don't even have to listen that hard, but he is one of the best rock drummers ever. Now, I think he finds his way onto some favorite drummers list or best drummers list or whatever, but he's never anywhere near where he should be. Like, he's right up there with like John Bonham and Ginger Baker and Stuart Copeland and, God, what is the guy's name from the fucking Who? God, I cannot remember his name. Anyway, the dude from the Who. Who else? I don't know. I lost track. He is a fucking badass. Neil Peart. Neil Peart. He is right up there with all those guys. He is such a creative player. I know he hides behind a goofy looking drum set with like the fire extinguishers and the tubes and the big octabands and everything and just ridiculousness. Alex Van Halen. I'm not just talking about Hot for Teacher. You listen to any of their songs and listen to what he's doing. Listen to the guitar solo and Jump. There's tons of software out there. You can take all the music out and just leave the drums or the vocals or the guitars or whatever you want to leave in there. Just listen to the drums in the guitar solo for Jump, and you're like, what in the fuck is he doing? Like, I've never even heard that before. I guarantee you, if you're not a drummer, you have probably not heard what he's doing. Listen to Alex Van Halen and what he's doing. It is just unbelievable. Alan Cage. Again, a drummer on this list that maybe some people have not heard of. He's not as famous. Alan Cage is from a band called Quicksand. Quicksand released their debut record, Slip, in 1993. At that point, I had been a drummer for like maybe 5 or 6 years. I was just starting to play with other musicians, you know, and starting bands and things like that. But up to that point, I was just playing covers with my friends after school. So you don't really have, I had never really worked on my own style. I just mimicked whoever we were playing and tried to get that as close as I possibly could. So in that transition, when I started playing in bands, I really didn't know what kind of drummer that I wanted to be. And I didn't know what it sounded like. I kind of knew what I wanted to hear, but I couldn't see it yet. I didn't have a vision for it. Slip comes out. It changed everything for me. Like, it changed my life. It changed how I thought about music in the way that it's structured and the way that the drums are, you know, crafted around the music that's there and everything about it. That record is still probably my favorite album ever. His drum patterns on there, his drum beats, his drum parts in general, he's not a flashy drummer. A lot of my drummers they're not super flashy. They may be ridiculously talented, but not all of them are super flashy. They've got this raw grit to them, and that's who this guy is, Alan Cage. He plays a lot of parts that are like deceptively difficult. Like, they sound like it's not a big deal till you sit down and you try and play it. Like the first song, Phaser, which I talked about in another video. He does this hi-hat thing where he's opening it like on like the offbeat, and it's you don't think about it. When you try and play it, you're like, how do I do that? Like, the mechanics are just, anyway, incredible drummer. I love Alan Cage. He's a great drummer. Mario Duplantier from Gojira. If you have never heard Gojira and you've never heard Mario play, and you like heavy rock, metal, death metal, whatever it may be, you have got to check him out. he is the most powerful, most creative, completely raw, tribal, but death metal meets like groove metal drummer. Like, he is all encompassing, and the guy plays his ass off every time he plays. He practices every day with double bass at like 200 BPM for an hour nonstop, doing all these different hand patterns and everything as he's doing it, but he does not stop. He doesn't deviate. Solid for an hour every day. If you ever get a chance to go see them live, ever, go see them, because it is an explosion. And I'd say about 40% of it is him. I mean, the whole band is incredible live, but to watch him, if you're a drummer, you're just like, oh my God, drool coming out of the side of your mouth. Like, he is fucking ridiculous. This next drummer is, I think, if you look at every single aspect of what I love about all these drummers, the one that I feel is my favorite drummer, for several reasons, which I'm going to tell you about, is Abe Cunningham from Deftones. Maybe not the most conventional favorite drummer. I don't know. I know he's respected by everyone who loves that band, and with drummers that are into heavy music, he's a very highly, respected drummer. People credit him a lot that are drummers to his style. I'm one of them. Abe Cunningham kind of encompasses something from every other drummer that I've mentioned on this list. He plays with power. He plays with precision. He has a great drum sound, great technique, super powerful, super heavy drummer. I love his style. His snare drum still is like the pinnacle snare drum sound for me. That has been like my chase. The sound that I search for every time I play is his drum sound. Listen to the new record. I mean, he's got a legendary snare drum sound on every single record, but there's some songs on their new record that his snare drum sounds better than it ever has, ever. It's like the best snare drum sound that I've ever heard on that record. Listen to it. It's fucking incredible. Private music. But Abe is, he's not a conventional metal drummer. He plays with, I wouldn't say swing, but he's very creative. He's an incredibly influential drummer for me. You can hear his playing in mine, hands down. Same with Alan Cage. You could probably pick parts out and say, ooh, Deftones, or ooh, Alan Cage, Quicksand. And I'm okay with that, because it's the best. Those two guys are like what I want to be as a drummer. A mix between the two of them. They are phenomenal drummers. He's my favorite drummer. He's got everything. He's the full, le package total, huh? You know what I mean? Got the whole thing. The whole enchilada. We're almost done. Not quite yet. I have an honorable mention. I promised it earlier. Most of you have probably not heard of him, but Mario Quintero. This guy is not only primarily a guitar player and main vocalist for the band Spotlights. He writes most of the songs with his wife. And on all but 2 of their releases, he has played drums on them. And he is a fucking ridiculous drummer. Again, like some of my others that I said, a little bit more stripped back, but just really raw drummers. He's that style drummer. But where he places his accents and way he structures some of his beats and his patterns are like nothing I've ever heard before. And I don't know if he's just unique as a drummer, but maybe because his primary instrument is guitar and vocals, and maybe it's just something that he just thinks of it differently. He knows how he wants it to hear in his head. And I think if anybody else had played that, I mean, their current drummer, who has done the last 2 studio records with him, Chris Enriquez, is incredible. He's such a badass drummer. I love his style. He has really put his stamp on the band. The first few records that Mario recorded though on drums are very unique. Great drum parts. If you've never heard Spotlights, they're like this really heavy, like sludgy, but really beautiful, wispy vocals, like, songs about like love and death. And it's just like this beautiful, like super heavy shoegazy kind of stuff. They're incredible. They're like a dream gaze, kind of like a heavy, I don't know. I'm making up genre names now. Whatever. Go listen to Spotlights. They're heavy. They've got beautiful lyrics. Tons of feel to their songs. It's just incredible. Sarah Quintero, his wife, is the bass player, and she is like the Thunder Queen. She's got the best bass sound I've probably ever heard for heavy music. Incredible bass sound. But anyway, Mario. Not only did he play drums on all but 2 of their records, he has recorded all of their records in their basement in Pennsylvania. He has mixed their records, and they sound incredible. You would think like Butch Vig or Nick Raskulinecz would have recorded their records because they had that clarity. They've got that thick wall of sound that takes up like all the fucking room in the mix. And somehow he gets toms and the snare and the bass drum and the cymbals to punch through with everything else. His guitar's right there. I mean, the bass is carrying everything. But all these things are like really present in his mixes. It's incredible. He does live recording. I mean, the dude he's a fucking dynamo. So check them out. Check out Spotlights, Mario Quintero. He's a genius. The guy, and the nicest guy ever. Nicest guy. I got a chance to meet him. Anyway, love you, Mario. So that's it. What do you think? I'm sure you have your favorite drummers. I'm sure people are going to say, Neil Peart's not into this. It's junk. It's garbage. Invalid. Other drummers are going to be on there too that people are going to say that I missed. And that's all right. That's where the opinions come in. You know what I mean? You may disagree, but that's okay. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to open up the conversation. So throw some stuff in the comments and we'll talk about it. All right. I'll see you later.